Folklore has made this caterpillar one of the most famous insects in North America. As nature detectives, we can use some nature clues to figure out what kind of caterpillar this is and how it helps us every single day. The first nature clue that I notice about this caterpillar is its color. Notice how it's black and brown, black on the ends, brown in the middle. Second nature clue that we notice about this caterpillar is how fuzzy it is. You can very safely and confidently pick up caterpillars that look like this, black on the ends, brown in the middle, because there's no caterpillar in North America that can sting you that looks like this. And if you do pick them up, they sometimes will roll up in a ball. This one's very comfortable, but if they're on their backs, they'll kind of roll around in your hand because they're covered in tiny little hairs. It's almost like they have fur or wool. And the third nature clue that stands out about this caterpillar is the time of year that we found it. This is mid-November in the Genesee Valley of New York State, eastern North America. There are very few caterpillars that are active and walking around at this time of year. Most caterpillars are adult butterflies or adult moths or chrysalises or cocoons. They're sleeping through the winter or they've migrated and left the area. So let's put all those nature clues together. We have a caterpillar that's active and walking around in mid-November in eastern North America. It's covered in little hairs, like it's covered in wool, and it's black on the ends, brown in the middle. This is a woolly bear caterpillar. The folklore surrounding woolly bears has made them one of the most loved and recognizable insects in North America. If you grew up in southern Canada or anywhere in the US or northern Mexico, you have seen these caterpillars in your nature adventures, and you have probably heard that if you look at the color on the woolly bear caterpillar, you can predict how harsh the coming winter will be. The story goes something like, if there's more black on the caterpillar, or if there's more black on the head or on the tail end, the abdomen end, then maybe the winter will be more harsh. Or maybe if there's more brown, then the winter will be more harsh. As heartbreaking as it is, there is no scientific basis for this household folklore that is almost universal. Just look at this other woolly bear caterpillar that we found the same day, just a few feet away. They both have different amounts of black and brown on them. The color on a woolly bear has more to do with their individual genes and maybe what stage of development the woolly bear is in. All caterpillars shed their skin as they grow, and sometimes their colors or patterns or different hairs on them can change as they do that. Now that said, woolly bears do have a very special relationship with winter. These caterpillars can walk around when it's really cold or even when it's freezing because they have a superpower. They can produce a lot of extra sugar in their blood, hemolymph, and that protects them from freezing like most other insects would if they walked around in freezing temperatures. So though they can't predict the weather for us, it doesn't matter to the woolly bears because they're going to be just fine whether it's a mild winter or a harsh winter. One of the reasons woolly bears are walking around at this time of year is to find a cozy spot to curl up and hibernate for the winter. They're going to spend the whole winter as a caterpillar and then turn into a cocoon in the spring. And then, when that cocoon opens up, out will crawl a beautiful Isabella tiger moth. One of the coziest places for a woolly bear to undergo its transformation into an Isabella tiger moth is under fallen leaves. Through most of Letchworth State Park, we have many different diverse habitats and forest types, and old-growth forests and very young forests. So there are places for woolly bears to find shelter. But in landscaped areas of the park, near lawns and gardens, we intentionally put cut leaves or chopped leaves on the garden beds so that woolly bears and fireflies and even adult moths and beetles and wasps and ants have places to hide and hibernate through the winter. Otherwise, if it was just regular like wood-chipped mulch, there wouldn't be as many places for these bugs to survive. Thanks for joining me, Nature Detectives. Make sure you follow Letchworth State Park on Facebook and Instagram to stay tuned for more nature mysteries.